Hello, hello, Nez Nation. How are you? We are live. We are what? No, we're not. Woo! Yes, what a great start. I'm gonna leave that in the video. Oh, it's gonna be kind of hard to know that we're live if I don't have any audio going on here. I love it. Little blooper reel to start off the live stream. How are you guys doing? It's so good to see you. This is it, guys. This is our weekly salon, our weekly meetup, our weekly gathering every single Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Welcome to the Nez Nation live stream here on YouTube. And I am just so excited and so happy to have you guys here. Welcome, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be answering your email questions. I get emails from you guys all the time asking me, hey Nez, can you help me with this? Or hey Nez, I keep experiencing this. Or hey Nez, this is the one thing that I feel like doesn't make sense for me. Can you help me with this? Well, I'm going to answer some of the major ones that I keep getting. And this is going to be a real on fire live stream. So I can't wait to really jump into it. So if you're even wondering about, should I be creating a personal brand? What in the world is the point of doing that? Why do I need to even create one? What are the benefits? How's that going to help me with my career? How's that going to help me with my business? If those are some of the thoughts that are sort of ruminating in your dome, you may want to check this out, and you need to definitely wait till the end because I've got some great stuff that I'm going to be talking about and sharing. And we've also got the amazing live stream community. You don't just get Nez, you don't just get Nez. You get an amazing, thriving, booming, insightful, intelligent community. How are you guys doing? I see Stony Creek in the house. Good to see you, Stony Creek. Neil, Crypto Cruising. How are you? Ahmed made it. And my man, Dan Norton. Good to see you, Dan. Fantastic. Luis, my mod. Good to see you. We've got Barb in the house. I love it. Patty Broussard. Great to see you. I saw that your question, Patty, got answered on Tim Schmoyer's podcast. I thought that was really, really cool. And let me throw this out to you guys, too, before I even get cooking on some of these questions. If you have any questions, or if you have any videos or any problems or challenges or issues as you're facing, I want to throw this out to you guys. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Hey, Nez, I understand you're a personal branding coach, a LinkedIn consultant. You own and run several businesses. You're also a business communications professor. I mean, there's a lot of different ways in which I would love to serve you. I would love to help you. And if you give me, if you ever feel like, hey, Nez, this is something that's really been kind of stymieing me or something that's been getting in my way, could you talk about this? I might just create a video out of it. Not only will I definitely respond and reply to all the comments, but I may just make an entire video of it. I've done it before, and I definitely will do it again. So I want to hear from you guys. Leave that in the comments below. Before we get into it, though, hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. Make sure you absolutely click on that like button. If you see it above there, I would really, really appreciate it. Hey, Roz, good to see you. Roz and Sharon. All right, fantastic. From Southern Hemisphere, South Australia. I love it. It's so good to see you guys. It's been such a pleasure to see this Nez Nation family grow. And I'm just so blessed. I'm so humble. I'm so, it's just so humbling to see these amazing people in our chat, to see these amazing, intelligent, as we always say here at Nez Nation, we're trying to bring more humanness to this digitalness. If you don't mind sharing this out, I would love it as well. If you could share this on Twitter, share this on LinkedIn, share it on Facebook. I would really, really greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. I will love you to death. We want to get as many people in here as possible. So, I posted recently about Tuesdays with Morrie. If you haven't read that book, I'm sure Barb has. If you haven't read the book Tuesdays with Morrie, there's a quote in there where he says, if you're not feeling that the culture that society has created is the one for you or benefiting you or giving you what you need, then create a culture of your own. And that's what I feel like we've been doing here. That's what I feel like we've been doing here with Nez Nation Live, is this unbelievable weekly get together, which I look forward to You guys have no idea how much I look forward to this. I mean, I'm about to split my pants. That's how excited I am to meet you guys and see you guys every single week, which is why I want to bring above and beyond information, education, value for you guys. Um, that's what we're doing here. And I just absolutely appreciate you guys so, so much. I also want to say this in case you haven't heard the news. Yes, Professor Nez has become an official. Let me see here. Let me bring this down a little bit. Professor Nez has become an official affiliate for the greatest tool for growing your YouTube channel, TubeBuddy. Thank you so much to Phil and Jim. It's been an amazing partnership, and I'm very, very excited about that. And if you don't know anything about TubeBuddy, it is the tool. I only advocate for products that I use myself and that I feel will bring you unbelievable value and benefit. I use TubeBuddy to grow my YouTube channel. I've grown from 300 subscribers to well over 1,200 subscribers now in less than 6-7 months. This tool is amazing. I've got a link down in the description. Go check out TubeBuddy. It's free, and obviously they have some paid versions of the tool. It's a Chrome extension that you add to your YouTube channel. And I'm telling you right now, I can't tell you how invaluable TubeBuddy has been. I mean, it's the keyword explorer, the tagging tools, the search, optimization, the thumbnail generator. I mean, it's just, I could go on and on and on. My favorite tool is the keyword explorer, which used to be the tag explorer. Now it's the keyword explorer. It's just unbelievable assistance. I don't think my YouTube channel would be anywhere near where it is without you, TubeBuddy. So thank you so much, TubeBuddy. You guys rock. Keep up the amazing work. Check out the link in the description below. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you, Neil. Dan, yes. Thank you, Ball Life. First time on your live. Yes. Thank you so much, Ball Life. You just may earn your wrench. As a matter of fact, thank you, Ball. I really appreciate you joining us. Come on in. Modern Day Family Man, good to see you. All right, awesome. Thank you. Isn't TubeBuddy amazing? Stony Creek. Love seeing Stony Creek here. Stony Creek's a regular. 0 to nearly 1,300 with TubeBuddy. That's awesome, Crypto. Love it, Neil. Yes, absolutely. Definitely, TubeBuddy is an amazing, amazing tool. And again, you can find that link in the description below. You gotta go hook up TubeBuddy. It's just fascinating. Barb, do you have TubeBuddy? I guess you do. Barb does. She says, I love TubeBuddy for research. Yes, fantastic. Love TubeBuddy. It's a terrific, terrific tool. Over 1,000 YouTubers use the tool. It's an amazing tool. There's other ones out there, of course, but this one is the one that I see the fastest growth. I mean, I've never seen such amazing exponential growth with this tool. So I would definitely implore and beseech you to go check it out. Thank you so much, Luis. You're awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Really means a lot to me. So by the way, also, I want you to always, so how this sort of works, especially if you're new here, it looks like Ball Life is new here, maybe a few others. If you're new to the live stream, how we usually do it is I will talk about the content that I'm going to present today, personal branding examples, questions and emails and DMs that I've been getting for you. I want to bring it all to you in this jam-packed live stream, answering your questions because I want you to succeed. I want you to flourish. I want you to create a narrative that impacts an audience, whether you want to advance your career, you want to grow your business, you just want to maybe build your influence, build your thought leadership. You want to maybe support a cause or, gain some momentum with some cause or movement that you feel very strongly about. You want to build a community, just like this amazing Nez Nation community that gives me life. You guys give me life every single week. It starts with, you got to know who you are. Who in the world are you? How do you communicate that story to the world so that you can impact the audience that you want? Whether it's for the dollar bills, y'all, whether it's for your personal life, you want to meet the right gal or guy or whatever, to build your family, to build your relationships, friends, real friends, not Insta friends, right? Not friends that you just happen to be friends with on Facebook, but you never see, hear, or talk to them. You've got to know who you are. You've got to discover your true core identity. And then you got to figure out how to communicate that to the world. That's the real definition of personal branding, taking strategic ownership over the narrative that you share with the world. Because if you're not the one telling your story, if you're not taking ownership, it's being communicated by unreliable narrators. Hearsay. That's the whole premise here. That's what I love talking about. That's why I'm a personal branding coach, a business communications professor, running 2 businesses. This is what I do. And every single week we bring it. So I'm going to dish out the content. Obviously, I'm going to be acknowledging the chat intermittently, if not more. Sometimes I get a little tangential. That never happens, right, guys? And I'm going to take your questions. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, leave those in the chat, and I'm going to come back and I'm definitely going to address them. Absolutely. Roz. Yeah, Roz, the link is in the description after this is done. And obviously, you can go to my website too, professornez.com. You'll see the link there. Yeah, it's really important, Roz. It's really important because I don't think that personal branding is just for online, entrepreneurs or just business people. It's for everybody. I just gave a keynote address on personal branding at Westcom at their annual superstar event, the credit union. This is a banking credit union. I was talking about how branding is your reputation. It's your ethos, as Aristotle said. It's everything. And modern communications is the way to get your branding out there. And what is modern communications? We're doing it right this very second. This is exactly what we're doing right this very second is modern communications. Thank you so much, Ball Life. I appreciate that. Modern Day Family Man, it is a pleasure and an honor, sir, to have you here with us. I love it. Luis, look at this. You guys thought I was kidding when I said we've got the most amazing audience on the planet. Listen to Luis right here. 2 tips. Know your worth. Bring value to others. Groups. People will see that you share your work and connect with you. There you have it, folks. I said this before in a promo video I did on Instagram. Just because it says Nez Nation, just because I'm Professor Nez, your personal branding coach extraordinaire, doesn't mean that I am the head honcho guru or whatever. Not even close. This community, this Nez Nation community, is chock full of people who are amazingly intelligent, amazingly experienced, amazingly insightful, thoughtful, and human. That's our mantra here. Or maybe mantra is not the right word, but our sort of mission, bringing more humanness to this digitalness. And I tell you what, I might even do a Nez Nation Summit very, very soon. If you haven't already, hit that like button, please. I would really, really appreciate it. Who's ready to get into it? I'm ready to get into the first question that I received, and then I'm going to give you my take on it, and I can't wait to hear your take on it. Keep that chat lively. Hit that like button. Let's get into it. So I talked a little bit about, why I think this is important, obviously, why I think personal branding is important. Some of the things and the way that you build that, the way that you build up on your personal brand is obviously by putting yourself out there. And so these are some of the mistakes, or these are some of the questions that I've been getting specifically from people who maybe haven't really developed their brand yet, or really don't understand why they need to develop their brand yet, or maybe just haven't been established. Okay. Obviously, if you're an expert in personal branding, some of this stuff may sound, familiar. I truly don't believe there is such a thing as an expert. At least I never want to consider myself an expert, even though I've been doing this for 30 years, over 30 years. I want to be a learn-it-all. I don't want to be a know-it-all. And so this is another reason why I love having these salons or these get-togethers, is because I learn just as much from you as hopefully you're taking away from me. I say the same thing to my students at the university. Just because you're 22, 21 and you're taking my class and I'm twice your age, doesn't mean I can't be inspired and moved by your perspective. I treat everybody as an equal, and I think you should too. So one of the questions that I received was, that this came from an email talking about, a personal branding and examples of things that were getting in your way. So one person said that, she felt that it was going to make her look, if, one thing about a personal brand is putting your personality, whether it's a business or your brand or your career, maybe your LinkedIn profile, putting your personality in that, because that's your unique self. Otherwise, there's really no other point in doing that. I mean, it's just you might as well just create a business brand or just be tenuous to your brand and not create something that has that immediacy, that personality to it. And so one of the things that people I got one of the emails was they were afraid, which is one of the things that they stopped, caused them to stop creating one, is they were afraid that it was going to make them look unprofessional if they created a personal brand. So, how many people can relate to that? How many people feel like that is something that maybe is stopping them or something that is, getting in the way of creating a personal brand? They feel like it makes them appear or look unprofessional. And by the way, creating a personal brand is not always doing or creating content revolved around your professional life. A personal brand is humanizing who you are. It's humanizing your brand. It's humanizing your entity, your organization, your business, bringing it back down to earth, putting a face to the company, putting a face to just your job title, HR specialist or sales director or VP of marketing, putting a face to that. This involves bringing your unique personality to the table. And so this email question that I got from this individual was that they were afraid that by creating a personal brand, it was going to make them look unprofessional by them posting pictures or posting videos or posting content about their life, that it was going to make them look unprofessional. So I have my take on this. I'd love to hear your take in the chat. My take on this is, especially if you're running a business, nobody, I don't really hear too many people say that they love doing business with somebody who's very stiff and very formal. Now, obviously, you want to carry yourself with the utmost professionalism, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be this rigid, stiff, "Hi, my name is Larry, and I'm going to," and again, I'm going to talk about this too, because somebody had another email relating to personality. But the fear of looking unprofessional, really to me speaks to the truth that you're not really understanding modern communications. You're not understanding the modern way in which we present ourselves and communicate ourselves. And what really personal branding entails is presenting you and all your own vulnerabilities and imperfections. Again, as I said, it humanizes you. And I think this also stems to the idea of the perfectionist mindset. The perfectionist mindset. Don't ever forget this. Please, y'all, don't ever forget this. You're not perfect. No matter how much control you have over your narrative, if all you ever create, if all you ever composite is this perfect image, idea, or notion of yourself, that's going to turn people off way, way more than anything else you can really do. You got to get over this perfectionist mindset. I think so many people, they do overthink creating a brand for themselves, specifically a personal brand, and getting their story out there because they want it to be perfect. As a matter of fact, the antithesis is true of that. The more vulnerable, the more imperfections that you elicit, the more engagement you get, the more people see you as, wow, okay, this person's down to earth. Like, look at me. I've started this live stream and I didn't even have my mic on. Right? Even the professional Professor Nez can sometimes look like a complete momo. As a matter of fact, as my wife would vouch for, I have no problem making myself look like a momo. If you don't know what a momo is, it's Italian for basically a jerk, an idiot. You're the only way you're going to look unprofessional is if obviously you're doing things that are against the law, or you're behaving in a way which is, inciting hate or violence or anything like that. I'm not even talking about those extreme cases. And this individual who emailed me is obviously not an extreme case. I think it's just one of those things where this dude is getting in your way and telling you you look like a schmuck, you look like an idiot. When in all reality, just by being present and just by being real, you're creating that connection, that know, like, trust factor. It grounds you. It anchors you into reality. It makes you more relatable. It's the same reason why, have you guys ever seen in like Pico magazine where they have these, hey, they're just like us, related to celebrities? Like, look, Brad Pitt goes to the grocery store. Look, Beyonce goes to, the post office. They're just like us. There's a reason why that is such a popular segment in their journal, because people can relate to relatable people. People relate to people. People relate to humans. Humans relate to humans. What do you guys think? Crypto says, I like FB, but want to keep it personal. Most people on my FB don't even know I do YouTube, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's another thing. There was a huge announcement. I know Barb knows this. And by the way, please hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please smash the like button. I would really, really appreciate. Make sure you share this out. Anybody you think that could get an insane amount of value from this, please make sure you share this out so we can get more people into this beautiful Nez Nation community. Stony, I think it makes your brand look more authentic to bring in the human side. Absolutely, Stony. And by the way, Stony, I've been checking out your channel. Love what you're up to, man. I love the theme of your channel. And just keep up the great work. You're doing fantastic. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you. Luis says, depends, but if you create a page on Facebook for a specific group, more personal, yes. Okay, let me get to more of what I've been talking about here. I totally get the Facebook thing, and I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. But surely there had to be a cutoff point. Okay, Luis says there's no such thing as perfect. Yes, Patty, we call it stinking thinking in our home. Self-doubt, worried about what others. Yes, absolutely. Very nice, Patty. I love that. God, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Roz, yes, we do need some level of privacy. I don't know what someone had for breakfast. I don't want to know what someone had for breakfast. Yeah, that's a good point too, by the way. And very nice, Roz. I like the way you say that. I don't really want to know what you had for breakfast either, but just because I don't want to know doesn't mean that other people, like specifically your audience, doesn't want to know. And by the way, experiment. It's okay. You're not going to hit a home run every time too. That's another thing, is this fear of failure. This fear of failure is an example of mistakes that people are making, an example of things that are roadblocks to your success here as a personal branding channel. Oh no, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. Thank you. Gesundheit. I didn't even have a chance to hit the mute button. It was so fast. I think another one might be on the way. Don't you love it? When you get through a sneeze, there's always one a creeping, just ready to be like, I'm going to catch you at your worst. I'm ready. I'm coming to get you. Excuse me. Yeah. So there's this fear of, well, this post didn't get as much, feedback, or this live stream, or this podcast, or this video, or this article, or this photo, or this graphic image, or infograph, right? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Even yours truly. I know you find this hard to believe. I've had some very unsuccessful, pieces of the puzzle of creating my personal brand, which I call content creation, is sort of like the pieces of the puzzle. You've got your micro content, you've got your longer form content, you've got your website. By the way, I know Christian, it doesn't look like Christian's here today. And Christian, we miss you. Sethi, if you're listening to this, Cameron, if you're listening to this, our regulars, are true to the beginning, original OG. Nez Nation family members, I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I hope you're doing really, really well. This is something that, I talk a lot about in my flagship course, Personal Branding 101, which is at beyondtheboxacademy.com. If you wouldn't mind, Luis, if you could type that in the chat, I would really appreciate it. Or anybody, just beyondtheboxacademy.com. Roz, I know you just recently joined. Hopefully you'll be able to take some of the courses, because they're insanely valuable, especially the personal branding flagship course. I still have the coupon code SUMMER in there, even though it's November, practically. If you use the coupon code SUMMER, you get 40% off, which is pretty insane, I think. I worked my butt off on that course. It's over 3 hours long. Everything you need, organized module by module, on creating your personal brand. I would love for you guys to check that out. Content creation, you're not going to be successful every single go. And when I say successful, actually, maybe I should define that for a little bit. Most people define success through vanity metrics: views, likes, shares, engagement. I'm not one of these people who say, that doesn't matter. I don't care about views or subscribers or anything like that. I think that's a bunch of hogwash. And I think these so-called influencers, or so-called what have you, content creators are lying up their butt. Yes, views matter. Yes, likes matter. Yes, shares matter. It's a metric to measure the success of how you're reaching people, right? I mean, the more people engage, right? I mean, followers, actually, if there's any metric that really doesn't matter, it's followers and subscribers, even though it still matters, but not as much as actual engagement. So it's a good metric to test whether or not your content is working or not. I mean, I pay attention to YouTube analytics all the time to try to figure out what kind of video, especially my vlog, which if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you need to subscribe because part 2 of the Vid Summit vlog is coming out soon. I just released an unbelievably jam-packed, info-valued video where I was giving personal coaching to a student of mine on picking a platform, how to even get started on a platform that many of you, I'll leave the card up here. I'll leave the card up here so you can check that out on the replay. But you know, you're not gonna hit a home run every time. You're just not. But consistency is key because it only takes that one. It only takes that one to spark. It just takes that one little spark to, you know, a forest fire, literally all you need. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. All you need. Here's advice for all you, here's advice. What are they called? Those dudes? Klepto? No. Somebody help me in the chat. What are those guys called? The crazy fire dudes. What kind of maniacs? Something maniacs. Somebody tell me in the chat. Thank you, Ball Life. I really appreciate that. Yeah, pyro. Thank you. Here's your pyromaniac. Thank you, Stony Creek. Here's your pyromaniac guide. All it takes to create an insane wildfire, brush fire, forest fire is just a tiny little spark. The same thing with your brand, the same thing with your content. I started at 0. Everybody started at 0, okay? Bill Gates started at 0. Steve Jobs started at 0, okay? Richard Branson started at 0. Sheryl Sandberg started at 0. Theodore Roosevelt started at 0. Abraham Lincoln started at 0. Everybody starts somewhere. And you can ask any one of those dudes or dudettes and look it up, and you'll find out there was always a turning point in their career, in their life. And it always came when they were putting themselves out there, whether it's a book, a journal, an article, a speech, a presentation, a town hall meeting, a workshop, an event, a conference, whatever. There was always one turning point. And the thing that didn't stop them was the fear of failure, was the fear that maybe this isn't going in the right direction. There's truth to the phrase that 99% of businesses fail within the first 12 months. The reason is people give up because they're not seeing that progress. They're not seeing those results fast. Look, you've heard this said 1 million times or more, and I don't want to sound redundant, but this is definitely not going to happen overnight. I've been doing this for over 25 years. Okay. I've been online. I started a MySpace blog in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, this is going to take time to build your influence, to build your brand, to build your reputation. But it's certainly not going to happen if you're letting these things get in your way. And it all revolves around mindset. You know, the fear of looking unprofessional, the fear of not being perfect, the fear of failure. It's all the same thing. It's literally all the same thing. You have to make a clear, concise, inner convicted decision to not let this dude win. My entire channel, I've written 7 books about this dude, that little dude inside your head. I call him the eternal doubter, whose favorite word is can't. Whose favorite word is can't. Here's the ironic thing. I'm going to contradict myself. Even though you got to give that dude the pink slip, I'm talking about this dude right here. There's a really good reason why he's there. There's a really good reason why he's getting in your way. Now, that may sound very esoteric and cryptic, but let that marinate. Don't overthink it. Let me see what's going on here. Roz says, your keyboard's mucking around. Well, what in the world is going on here? Looks like the MacBook died. Oh, no, Roz. Thank you, Sharon. Sounds great. And it's summer here in December. That's right. It's summer in Australia because the Australian Open, those of you who don't know, I'm a huge, huge tennis fan. The Australian Open is coming up very, very soon. It's right around the corner, really. Neil says, I don't think it makes you look unprofessional, but I see a lot of people bugging themselves far too much, and it can come across very much me. There needs to be a balance. Yes, Yes, bugging. I absolutely, and that really has to do with, are you actually giving or are you taking, right? Because I do believe that you should, if you provide enough value, if you provide enough information and help and service, there's nothing wrong with, doing a little bit of the other thing, which is taking, right? And just asking people, hey, I've got a new this, or hey, if you want to check out this, or hey, I would love it if you do this. But you're right. I believe what you're talking about, Neil, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're talking about kind of the self-promotional vibe, right? Where it just gets way too spammy, way too salesy, way too self-promotion-y. Definitely there needs to be a balance of that. As a matter of fact, I think there needs to be an imbalance of that, just to kind of compound your fact and your point. I truly believe there should be an absolute, imbalance to how much you give and take. I think you should give 90% and take maybe 10, if that. As a matter of fact, let's just talk about business for just 2 seconds, because I believe personal branding is not just for business. It's for advancing your career. It's for creating community. It's for building relationships. It's modern communications, period. I truly believe this, okay, that you don't need to ever ask. You don't need to ever take if you do a good enough job through branding, through communicating your story. I say this to my clients all the time. I run an agency, a consulting agency, as well as, Beyond the Box Academy, which is pretty much my own training, professional training university academy, right? Um, I tell my clients this all the time. Mike Paulus, good to see you. Mike, I'm so glad to see you. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Beth is in the house. Love it. Awesome. Um, a true salesman never sells anything. A true salesman never sells a thing. A true salesman, because sales has got such a bad rap, y'all. You got to go after what you want. That's what sales is. It's not sales as the typical negative connotation. There's nothing wrong with selling, because to me, selling is, and let me finish my quote, a true salesman never sells. A true salesman just tells their story in a compelling fashion. That's all they're doing. Hit that like button, guys. If you're just coming in, please hit that like button. I would really, really appreciate it. I want to hear from you. What do you think of this email that I got, that this person is fearing that they're going to look silly, ridiculous, unprofessional, and they're afraid that it's not going to get what they want? Well, you can't even, there's no way you're going to get what you want if you don't even get out there and try, right? Ahmed, it's hard for me to start sharing myself in videos. Yeah, Ahmed, maybe you don't have to do video. Thank you, Ball Life. You rock. Roz, Bugga, I'm going to have to be watching the replays. My computers are, oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Roz. Well, you're here. What about your phone? Modern Day Family Man, we are our own worst enemy. Yes. My book, A Conversation with Fear. This is my book, which is literally like it's a one act dialogue. You can get it on Amazon. It's a one act sort of, the entire book is a dialogue. I don't know if you knew this about me, Modern Day Family Man, but from ages 18 to 29, I suffered from debilitating anxiety and depression. And this dude was winning. He was kicking my ass every single day. I went through that hell for a very, very good reason, because I found my calling. I discovered what I really, truly wanted to do, what really got my engine cooking and put locomotives in my veins, was inspiring other people, moving other people, motivating other people, helping and serving other people. And this is totally selfish. I don't want to come across as Mother Teresa. It's totally selfish. It makes me feel amazing to help you. It just does. I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to come across as like, oh, hi, I'm here to help you. And I just love helping people. That's what I do. Golly gee willikers. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fake it. It's really a selfish thing. I love doing it. It makes me feel like I have purpose. It makes me feel like I'm a human being. It makes me feel like there's a reason why I'm here. All those things that we search for our whole entire lives, and some of us never find, unfortunately. Um, so that book, A Conversation with Fear, the main character is named after my son, and he's literally having a conversation with this entity called fear. And the whole thing could be actually done as a one act play, because it's all dialogue. It's very easy to read. It's only about 70 pages long. You could read it in an hour. And maybe I'll do a giveaway. I'll do a giveaway, a free book giveaway, maybe Maybe I'll do a free book giveaway. I'll kind of think of something because I really love you guys to, I mean, it's on Amazon, but I would love for you guys to have this book. And so fear is teaching Sam how to overcome him. So when you say we're our own worst enemy, modern day family man, you couldn't be more than accurate. Please hit that like button, guys. Have you hit that like button yet? I would love for you to hit that like button. Okay. Let me see. Sharon says, what? Not famous tomorrow? Yes. Hey, from NC. Good to see you, Mike. Always. Beth is in the house. Neil. Yeah, I meant bigging themselves up. Yes, it's a total turnoff. I totally agree with you. Luis says 80-20 rule. Yes. Mike Paulus. Love it, Mike. Good to see you. Barb, what do you think about using a buddy system in building a personal brand? There's a lot to be said about word. Oh, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, Barb. Absolutely. Word of mouth is still insanely valuable, if not maybe the most valuable form of marketing, which I think brand can create. Dan says, Aussie Open. I've worked on the live streams for years, full overnight shifts here in NYC. We'll have to chat as it gets closer. Oh my God, Dan, if you got some kind of connection, brother, we definitely need to talk. So happy to see you here, Dan. I met Dan at Vid Summit. If you guys don't know who Dan Norton is coming in the chat or watching this on the replay, Dan basically took over. He is a live streaming pro. He basically took over the entire Vid Summit live stream from Daryl Eves' channel. And I'm Dan, I'm telling you right now, I'm still haven't stopped hearing from people applaud you and compliment you on how well you did, how well you executed and pulled off that live stream. It was phenomenal. Good job to you, Dan Norton. Ahmed says, I'm good in making videos, but not in being in them. You don't have to be in them, as a matter of fact. And I'll talk about that. Roz, Ahmed, don't go anywhere. I want to get back to that. Roz, I'm on Messenger call with Sharon. Ha! Cool. I'm on a PC at the moment with the wildly selfish mouse. It's moving all. I'm so sorry. Luis, by helping and sharing your journey is also helping you. Look at that, guys. Why do you think Luis is a mod? Why do you think I have such profound respect for Luis? Why do I keep saying that we are all equals here in the Nez Nation family? There is no hierarchy here. We're all here together. We're in it together because of these brilliant comments right here. Let's see. Patty says, bye, Ross. Yes, Dan is the man. Absolutely. Dan Norton. Absolutely. Dan is fantastic. Barb says, as for the email, the writer could benefit from personal development courses. You teach those too, right? Yes, absolutely. I do. Mindset Mastery course is in beyondtheboxacademy.com. Luis, if you wouldn't mind sharing that link again, I would really, really appreciate it. Beyondtheboxacademy.com. Thank you so much. Oh, Luis, you're the man. Luis, you are the man. Okay, so let me get to another email. Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. I'm going to get to another one, another email question that I got from one of you guys. And I'm just kind of leaving these more anonymous. I'm not really revealing who the individual was because I want to respect their privacy. Because some of these questions, you know, it's hard to even admit. I mean, it's hard to even admit that maybe you have some of these issues. But here's another thing that I got where, you know, somebody felt that they were having problems, and this was stopping them from creating a personal brand, from getting out there and putting themselves out there. These are personal branding examples for people who are kind of just starting out, but they're not really sure. You know, they're having these issues, these blockades. These things keep coming up over and over and over again. So here's another one. One person said that a lot of people think that they just don't have a personality. They say that I'm boring. And if I'm boring, why should I share, you know, who I am to the world if I'm boring? This is another, to me, I believe, a totally self-limiting belief. And I want to go on the record and say, you are definitely not boring. Now, how I want to kind of answer this, and I'd love to hear what you guys say in the chat. Thank you, Sharon. Good to see you. I want to kind of frame this. Thank you, Luis. I appreciate the link. I want to frame this, you know, this whole like I'm boring and I shouldn't be putting myself out there because who's interested in who I am and who's interested in what I want and what I want to do. I want to say that one of the biggest mistakes you can make when you're creating a brand is trying to please everybody. I think that's boring. If you have the one thing you have to realize when it comes to building, your presence and building your platform and building your brand, building your career, building your story, is it has to be uniquely your story. And you're going to offend some people. You're going to turn off some people, if not the majority of people. And that's the way it goes. As Bob Dylan said, if you try to please everyone, you're not going to please everyone. So you might as well not try to please anyone. Ugh, let me see. I messed that up. Sorry. You're not going to please everyone. So you might as well not try to please anyone. You're not going to please everyone. So you might as well not try to please anyone. Okay. Excuse me while my mind goes into a fourth dimensional warp. That was really hard to say for some reason. You're boring to who? To whom? Because here's another thing that neuroscience actually proves. Some people say this, they get 1,000 great comments. I mean, a ton of good feedback about what they're doing and how they're conveying who they are. But that one person who says you're boring, it sticks. And that's the only one that they focus on. This is actually neuroscientifically proven that the brain more readily adopts and absorbs negativity than positivity, which is why pretty much, the entire mental health, wellness, and performance coaching and life coaching and all these entities even exist. Why depression and anxiety and suicides, keep remaining, if not increasing, every single year. The brain more readily, your cortex, your neocortex, and your limbic brain, your reptilian brain, are more absorbing of negativity than it is of positivity. So even though you get 1,000 amazing comments, those one or two that are negative seem to stick. And that's based on neuroscience. The more aware you are of that, the more cognizant of that, you won't let that get you down. You won't let that get in your way. This is extremely important, y'all. This is insane value right here, insane truth, insane information right here that you need to digest. You need to absorb. Have you guys shared this out yet? Make sure you share this out. Share it out on Twitter. Share it out on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Share this out. You are not boring. You're not boring. And as a matter of fact, if you're trying to please everybody, you're going to lose. You should focus on the people who are receptive to your message. Focus on the people who, I don't want to just say just yes people who challenge you, because people who challenge you, like Barb is a great example. I love Barb. I've known Barb online. We haven't met in real life, which is going to change, for several years now. Maybe if not more, Barb. I can't remember. Do we go back to the Meerkat days, Barb? We might. Let me know in the chat, Barb. But Barb challenges me all the time. I love it. We don't always agree on everything. I love it. You need that. I'm not saying yes people, but you shouldn't be worried about the people who are impossible to receive. The impossible people who are just there to kind of, do nothing but spew negativity on you and thrust toxicity on everything that you do. The haters, right? There's nothing wrong with embracing, people who have different opinions and differing viewpoints. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's when we let those thoughts dominate and let those people dominate where it becomes chronic. And then, as I advise my clients, it becomes this sort of endless negativity thought train. And there's no station in sight to get off, because it just refurbishes, recycles. And that is definitely something that gets in your way. Here's another thing that this individual emailed me asking me. They said that, I don't have the same kind of, because I asked them, I said, why do you think you're boring? And they said, the reason I think I'm boring, Nez, is because I'm not like you. You have this amazing energy. You're always very, very upbeat, and you have this personality that seems to be larger than life, what have you. You don't have to be a energetic, manic, in your face, crazy, take Barb, for example. Barb doesn't have the same energy as I do, but she has an amazing presence. She has an amazing brand. Luis, right? Modern day family man, right? All these people who are in the chat, in the Nez Nation family, Christian Reddy, Sethi, Cameron, these people who have these amazing brands, right? They don't have the same energy as I do. Take my wife, for example. My wife's a perfect example. She has the exact opposite energy that I do. I mean, if we had the same energy, we'd probably cancel each other out. There'd be some kind of cosmic, collapse, if you will. She has a very, very, I don't want to say subdued, but it's just a much quieter, a much more subtle energy than I do. But when she speaks, the room stops. You don't have to be an extrovert. I mean, there's proven statistics, proven, cases where introverts make amazing leaders, introverts make amazing CEOs, make amazing content creators. And those are all just labels anyway. Who are you boring to? I think this is another self-limiting, defeating thought that you have of yourself. You are not boring. You are you. You are uniquely you. And if you understand this truth, that there's literally nobody in the universe that has the same energy that you do, that has the same uniqueness that you do, please heed this. Then you will never worry about being boring again, because you won't be boring to the right people. Okay. So don't worry about it. That should not stop you from putting yourself out there. I went on to talk to this individual for a while who sent me this email question. I said, you got to look at all the different facets. You got to look at all the different variables. You got to have a larger perspective about this. And it just was a reminder. As I've said plenty of times on my channel, she was grateful that I reminded her of that. And as I say all the time on my channel, that's all my mission is to be that healthy reminder, because I feel that we suffer from what I like to call permanent temporary amnesia. We forget things very, very fast, very easily. There's nothing original about Professor Nez. There's nothing even special about Professor Nez. I'm just a reminder, which is what all the great artists, thinkers, philosophers, writers, creators, scientists, and innovators, disruptors, if you will, did for me. They were healthy reminders. A great leader does not tell you what to do. A great leader instills in you how to go do it yourself and reminds you and inspires you that you have it within you. A great leader doesn't say, be like me. A great leader says, who are you? I want to know what you think. Does that make sense? Patty says, everybody has gifts. Some just haven't found them yet. When you find them, share. You are not boring. Love it, Patty. Thank you. Modern day. Yes, absolutely. Um, Beth says, same as boring. You are not. Absolutely. Barb. Okay. Was it Blab? Okay. Interesting. Neil says, you're only boring to the people you don't need. Love it. Actually, it's a good litmus test too, you guys. The people who find you boring are the people, and believe me, there's people out there who actually find Professor Nez boring. Can you believe it? I know it's hard to imagine, but it exists, and I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about it. If you're not interested in me, you're not. This goes back to Aristotle. If you truly know who you are, as I said at the top of the stream, if you truly know who you are, neither friend nor foe can ever touch you. You've got to dive deep in your chest. You've got to do a swan dive into your chest and dig, investigate, probe. Who am I? What am I? What are my beliefs? What do I want to do? Is this really the truth? Investigate for yourself. Don't believe Professor Nez. Don't believe anybody. Find out for yourself. Otherwise, it's just intellectual hearsay. If you truly want your truth to plant roots, it's got to be experiential. You've got to experience it for yourself. And that comes through self-inquiry. Some people like to call it self-awareness, but self-awareness has been such an abused word lately. I don't want to say self-awareness. It comes from self-investigation. That's where it comes from. Sharon says, everyone has their own. Hey, Alfredo, good to see you. Alfredo, hit that like button, please, if you don't mind. I would really appreciate it. Good to see you, Alfredo. Alfredo Tegolo. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right, too. Let me know how I pronounce Alfredo. I love your last name. Sharon says, everyone has their own people who are attracted to them. It just takes some courage to step out, as many people don't speak in front of a camera. Right, exactly. And here's the only criteria when you're doing this type of content. I talked to a client the other night about creating a video. So they wanted me to help them with video branding. And I told them that, most of my videos that I post on YouTube, all these live streams, none of these are rehearsed, right? They're all done pretty much impromptu. They're all done pretty much, in one, maybe two takes tops. Why is that? Is that because I'm so super talented and special? Of course not. No, because I know the only criteria. Well, let me tell you the criteria that it's not. You don't need fancy lighting. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't need fancy sound. You don't need fancy sets or designs or anything like that. The only criteria is you got to be real. That's it. That's the only criteria. If you're real, if you're genuine, people will smell that cooking. And that's when people will respond. Very well said, Sharon. I love it. Beth says, imagine living in a cave. There's only one room for one doctor, one chef, one hunter. Holy mackerel. Is this one of those? One leader, one teacher. You have to be unique or you aren't necessary. Ooh, I love that, Beth. I was beginning to think this is one of those questions. If train A left station B at 4:30 and then train D came over and stopped and got some Del Taco and then I was like, hey, I can't do those questions. Those questions make my brain just want to explode. But thank you, Beth. That's beautiful the way you just said that. Who are they? I'll go get them. Neil's in the house. It's so good to, Neil, I want to say it's so awesome to have you with us. Crypto Cruising. What a pleasure. A totally intelligent, sweet dude. I'm really happy to have you. Stony says, I agree. One teaching or speaking style doesn't reach everyone. It takes many different styles to reach different types of folks. See? You see what I'm saying about the Nez Nation crew, y'all? Do you see what I'm saying, you guys, about how amazing this Nez Nation family is? Holy macadamia nut. Beautiful, Stony Creek. I agree. Let's see. Sharon says, hard to imagine people would find you boring. I know, right? Beth, Nez Nation keeping it real. Absolutely. With your help, Beth. Sharon, I couldn't agree more with you. All right, who's ready for the next one? We're kind of running out of time here, but I want to keep this thing cooking. I want to get to this other question that I got the other day about, and I do have some notes here about the lunch thing. I think it was Roz. And Roz, if you're watching this, on the replay or anybody watching this on the replay, I want to talk about this, that, I have these notes here because I knew somebody was going to say this, because this always gets posted on Instagram, Facebook. It gets posted everywhere, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram stories, what have you. People are like, hey, I'm eating at, Dolly's Pizza. Yay. Okay, it's probably true that nobody cares what you had for lunch. Nobody cares about the sandwich necessarily, or the food, unless you're in like the food nutrition business, or maybe you have a famously hot body or something like that. And everyone, or you're like, you're Angelina Jolie and everybody wants to know what you ate, of course. But I would say, if you have a point of view, if you have context, or maybe you start to elicit or communicate a story about, the lunch and why you had the lunch and where you going to lunch, and you said, you made it a story, you put context behind it, it might be interesting. So, for example, I remember seeing a post actually not that long ago, maybe a couple months ago, where somebody posted about how they had lunch. They were having lunch at this restaurant, total typical post you would see on these sites. And it was the 1-year anniversary of them beating cancer. And they decided to treat themselves to this amazing filet mignon. That post took on a whole new significance. That share took on a whole new meaning for the viewer, for the audience, because the individual posting it gave it context, put the narrative behind it. I can't tell you how many times I've said this before. I know this is going to sound like a broken record. I've said this in plenty pieces of content many, many times. We're all ghosts, y'all. We're all ghosts. Until somebody knows your story, you don't exist. All the people that you see pass you in the hallways and byways of life, at the grocery store, at the red light, at the post office, at school, at work, just walking to the park. They're all ghosts. Until you know their story, they don't exist to you. They're just ghosts in and out of your life. But as soon as I know your story, so for example, Luis, oh, Christian's here. Yes, Christian, I didn't see you. So great to see you, Christian. Finally, Christian's in the house. Good to see you, Christian. If you have not gone to Launchpad Astronomy, the channel, it's an amazing channel on science, astronomy, specifically astronomy, and everything related to space. I love it, Christian. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Ball Life, thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Great to see you. So happy that you're here. look at Christian. Here. Christian and Luis, who are like my main mods. Don't worry, Barb. I'm not excluding you. I don't want to hurt Barb's feeling because she might kill me. No, I'm kidding. I love you, Barb. You know I love you. I made you a mod for crying out loud. I didn't know anything about Luis. I didn't know anything about Tech for Needs. I didn't know anything about Launchpad Astronomy. I didn't really much care. But then they started engaging with me. They started sharing their story with me. And I started to see the human side of them. And as soon as I knew their story, they became people to me. I met with Christian, through a virtual meeting. We talked. We had a great time. Luis and I have gone back and forth for years now, Luis. It's got to be at least several years, if not more. They exist to me. They're human to me. And now I consider them literally members of my family, especially the Nez Nation family. But they're like brothers to me now. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? So I wanted to give a little bit more, Roz, if you're watching this on the replay, I wanted to give a little bit more background on that before I get into the very last one. Okay. Here is the perfect one to end on. So I had another individual email me, and this is what was stopping them from creating a personal brand. But first, let me go see what's going on over here. Fantastic. Yes, Ball Life. Didn't mean to type that. No worries. Beth, we're all dust in the wind. Yes, I can hear the song now. Let's see. Yes. By the way, congratulations, Christian, on your new milestone. Fantastic. You're doing fantastic. I'm telling you guys, go check out his channel. His channel rocks. Yes, Patty. #community. #community. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Patty. And by the way, Sharon, Patty, Roz, Ball Life. Some of you I haven't seen. Beth is fairly new, although Beth was here last stream. So was Patty. Love you guys. I'm so appreciative of you guys. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for the audacity to share your narrative and the gumption and the courage to be who you are. I salute you guys. You guys rock. You guys are fantastic. Make sure you hit that like button before I get to the last one. Please, that would be fantastic. Thank you, Beth. Indeed, that's a great way of thinking about it, Nez. And likewise, thank you so much. Community. All about community. Yes, Neil, definitely YouTube brings the world together. I could not agree more. I mean, it's amazing, right? I mean, Neil's all the way. How many miles are you, Neil? In the UK, we've got Australia in the house. I think Ahmed is living in, Ahmed, you're in Cyprus. Ahmed, are you still here? I hope Ahmed is still here. Ahmed's in Cyprus. Dan is the epitome of community. Love Dan's personal brand. His brand just rocks. Modern day family man is in his nizity. Yes, 89,000 billion miles away. Yes. All right, Ahmed, I'm glad you're here. So the last thing, and then I want to take questions. I got this from somebody who this is what's stopping them from, and actually this is a very smart individual. It was very interesting, as a matter of fact. And this is somebody who is trying to do the exact same thing that I am doing, is going back from the public sector to the private sector, which is what I've been basically transitioning for the last 5 or 6 years, creating my online businesses. I'm afraid, this is what they said, why they were personal branding example of what kind of things were getting in their way. They said, Nez, I'm afraid I'm not delivering value. Now, this happens all the time. And this is a problem that I think is ongoing for a lot of people. A lot of people feel, gosh, I mean, do I have to do like a 5 tips for this thing? Or do I have to do, 3 mistakes you're not making? Or, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. It makes me feel like I need to do something different, or it makes me feel like I'm not giving enough value. Hey, don't let, this is something I'm so glad that this is the last one. And everybody struggles with this because it's this guy again. Look how it always goes back to mindset. It's this guy again. And you think to yourself, oh God, why am I doing this? What's the point of doing this? It's that eternal doubter going to work again. Look, if you can make somebody feel a little bit better, I actually want to start this off, my take, and I can't wait to hear. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. People will never, hardly ever remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. don't get too tripped up on, am I providing value? I mean, you're going to be able to test that out and experiment that out. And you should always be constantly striving to deliver more value. I always try to deliver above and beyond value. I don't care what anybody says. I get all sorts of advice to the contrary. Nez, you need to only give this much so you can charge for that much. No thanks. Not interested. I can't do anything half-ass. For me, it's blood and guts or nothing. That's what it is for me. For me, it's blood and guts, or I wouldn't even bother. I go all the way deep. I go into the core of the earth. I want to go all the way to the center. If I'm going to do something, I need to go all in. Um, if you can make somebody feel just a little bit better, just a little bit differently, if you can make them smile, you're providing value. You don't this is something, and plus it's not something like, "Oh, okay, I provided them value. Now I can go have a tuna fish sandwich and put my legs up and quit," or just, "I did it. I can go do the next thing." That is a continuous process that you're constantly learning, and you need to be listening, as I said in our last live stream. Listen to your audience, find out what they're saying, and you can differentiate the ones who are just being trollish and the ones who are being actual real with you. Listen to them, find out what they're saying. Are they saying, "Hey, Nez, I really like this," and then pay attention to that. Respond, reply to the comments. Do what I do every time I create content. I say, "Tell me what you want. Tell me what problems you're having, what issues, what concerns. What are your hopes, your dreams, your failures, your triumphs?" I'd love to get as much information I can about the people I'm serving so I can serve them better. Hello? Is that Weird Heather in the house? It's Weird Heather. So happy to have you here. How are you doing, Weird Heather? We haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been, huh? No call, no email. How dare you, Weird Heather? It's good to see you, Heather. Fantastic. Love seeing you. Yes, ball life. Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I try to tell my clients all the time when they're first starting out, I mean, when they're first starting out, is to really, they need to strip away everything that they're not and identify their core identity. Then you build a narrative around that. Why are you doing this? What is the purpose of you doing this? Aristotle called this pathos. It's an emotional connection to your audience. Tell them a story that humanizes you and bridges that gap between geography, time, space, and age. If you talk about universal themes like loss, love, friendship, leadership, career, finance, whatever, you know, tragedy, jealousy, envy, greed, all these things, these are universal themes, right? If you can speak to that in the narrative and you can connect on that, you're going to provide value. You're definitely going to provide value. And you're constantly you have to adopt this yearning to improve and constantly get better. So the fear of not providing value is something even I have to this day, even though I've been doing this for years and years and years. And that's a good thing. That's not actually a bad thing, because any jerk could get up here and do it. Any jerk who doesn't care could just get up here and do it, right? So it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. You're going to have days and time. And by the way, the reason why I keep saying use your audience as a litmus test, use them as the barometer, is because of that dude inside your head. He's the false eternal doubter, that false voice that's telling you you suck every single day of your life. You can't trust that always. We can't trust our own perceptions of ourselves. As Neil said so adequately, as modern day family man said so adequately earlier, we are our worst enemy. We get in our own way constantly all the time. So get feedback, be open to feedback, I would say, especially if you want to try to, be as strong as you can with your brand, as much as a service as you can with your brand, right? So you got to connect with them, and it really means really going to the audience and finding out, what can I do? I try to do this all the time, and I would definitely say worrying about value is not anything new. It's not the end of the world. It's actually a good thing. That fear of not providing value is actually a healthy thing, I would say, because then you're humble in front of the information that you're presenting to your audience, which forces you, incentivizes you to always want to get better. And if you always want to get better, you never arrive. I don't ever want to arrive. I don't ever want to arrive because arrival equals complacency. Write that down. Arrival equals complacency. It's the process, it's the journey, it's the striving, it's the struggle that obtains the nobility. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Beth said it just got weird. Did it really? Oh, you've been on holidays. Very cool, Heather. It's so nice to have you with us. Heather has an awesome channel too. Check out Heather's channel. She is amazing. Yes, Beth, you're hilarious. Beth is hilarious. Yeah, doing well. Good, thanks. Awesome. Awesome. So let me know. So guys, I want to open the floor up to I want you to hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. Make sure you hit the like button, share this out. I would love it. Thank you so much, Beth. Heather says, is fear of not providing value the same as fear of not being good enough? Yes, I truly believe that. I think they are, if they're not twins, they're very close cousins. They're very related, I would say. Absolutely. The fear of not being good enough. How are you measuring that? How are you deciding that? How are you judging that? What type of objectivity are you looking through? What kind of lens are you looking through? Not good enough compared to what? We've all heard this before, I'm sure. If you haven't, I'm going to say it. Comparison, I believe this was Oscar Wilde, but I could be wrong. Maybe Neil or Roz or Sharon can confirm this. Comparison is the theft, or comparison is the thief to joy. So when you say you're not good enough as compared to what, you should never compare yourself. Comparisons are odious, as the great Henry Miller once put it, the great 1930s writer, Henry Miller. Comparisons are odious. You are you. You are your unique self. There's nobody like you in the history of time, in the history of the universe. Think about this. There's nobody in the history of the universe that's exactly molecule by molecule you. How amazing is that? There's plenty of people who are similar. There's plenty of people who are kind of like you, but nobody in the history of the universe. Christian, back me up. We got an amazing audience here. There's nobody in the history of the universe that's exactly molecule by molecule, chromosome by chromosome, exactly like you. And there never will be. How insane is that? I mean, can you imagine if everybody in the world was like you? Could you imagine if everybody in the world was like me? I would definitely jump off a bridge. Diversity is what makes us beautiful. Variety is what makes life amazing. Look at the variety amount of life that we have on this planet. It's insanity. Somebody stop the insanity. Barb says, we'll be unpacking personal branding. Will we be unpacking personal branding further? I am finishing up my book on utilizing print on demand options to build a brand for small businesses. Ooh, I love that, Barb. Talk to me. Tell me what kind of a video or topic you'd like me to see, and I'll definitely make it applicable to my audience. I love that, Barb. Absolutely. We've been unpacking it this entire time. Barb, where have you been? We've been unpacking it. If you go to my playlist, if you go to my personal branding playlist, I didn't mean to put that in quotes as if to mock it, but if you go to my personal branding playlist, we've been unpacking it for several years now. Roosevelt. Yes. Thank you, Neil. Okay. Thank you so much, Neil. Theodore. Thank you, modern day family man. Roosevelt. Kissing cousins. Beth, will you stop it? Hopefully not those types of, I mean, kissing on the cheek, maybe. Yeah, but not the kind of kissing I think you're referring to, Beth. For the love of God, Beth. Really? Thank you so much, Beth. I really appreciate that. Ahmed, everyone is unique. Yes, Stony, that's a great thing. We would have an event horizon. Stony, that's right. And by the way, Christian knows what an event horizon is. If you don't know what an event horizon is, this is going to test my knowledge of science. I believe event horizon is that point where you go right on the tip or the edge of the black hole. Am I incorrect on that, Christian? I mean, Christian's going to hate me after this now. He's going to be like, you don't even know that? Look at Christian. Listen to this. Well, in an infinite universe, there probably would be another you out there, but you'd never meet him or her. Good thing is it would probably be rather embarrassing. Thank you. Yes, it would be. Absolutely. Yeah, there was something I listened to on the Joe Rogan podcast where he was saying something like, not only is it like possible, but it's actually like more than possible that there's another you in another universe in the universe. Or I know there's multiverses now too, right, Christian? The multi-universe theory is very is gaining steam, or if it hasn't already been gaining steam. And that there is like not only are they exactly like you, but they're doing exactly the same thing that you're doing, or something crazy like that. Something that just warped my brain way too many different directions. Ahmed says everyone can bring value to this world. Only few figure out how to. Yes, can twist your thoughts by comparing. Very good, Sharon. Patty, we just cannot keep picking ourselves apart. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Christian. Once you cross the event horizon, you fall into the black hole because you'd have to travel faster than light to get out. Yeah, that's it. The point of is at the point of no return. Is that correct, Christian? Very nice. Beth, if two people can win the Powerball, two Beths could meet. Well, I wouldn't mind if there was more than one Beth, actually. You're awesome, Beth. I think all of you guys absolutely rock. And so I want to take this time to just say, if you haven't hit the like button, please make sure you hit the like button wherever the hell it is. As always, we bring it to you every single Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's Nez Nation Live. I am Professor Nez, your personal branding coach, helping you to discover your purpose, communicate your message so you can impact your audience. I love you guys more than anything. This is the greatest community on the internet. We're bringing more humanness to this digitalness. Barb, let me know how you want me to, because I love you so much, Barb, I think maybe I'll talk about that next week if you would like me to. And maybe I'll even bring on a guest. So let me know, give me a little bit more context, leave in the comments below, and let me know what you would like me to talk about. That goes for everybody, by the way. If there's any topic, if there's any video idea that you're like, hey, Nez, can you do a video on this? Any question? You saw what I did today. I took 3 questions. Actually I had about 7 or 8. So maybe I'll continue this next week. Or not next week, but maybe the week after that. I do this. I try my hardest to really bring you guys to the forefront of my content creation and really try to help as much as I can. So if you have anything like that, if you have any ideas or any questions or challenges or problems you're facing, I might just create an entire live stream or entire video about it. Let me know. Leave that in the comments or DM me. Oh, by the way, before you guys go, because I don't think Weird Heather's in that group. Before you guys go, you guys know what I'm about to do right now. Let me turn on. I need you guys to join our private, personal, closed YouTube group, the Nez Nation Personal Branding Group. I need you to do that. By the way, does anybody have the link to that? Let me see. Okay, I want to get people in here. Let's see. Okay, send an invite link. Okay, share group link. Okay, I'm gonna copy that. So this is what I want to do is I want you guys to join. I want you guys to join join our private personal branding. It's sort of like our own discussion group where we can kind of hang out with each other. We can share our thoughts. Here we go. I'm leaving it in the chat right now. Let me know if it came through. And I would love for you guys to join. I would love for you guys to join that. So make sure you click on the link that I just sent. Hopefully it went through. I think it went through. Christian, do you see it in there? I would love for you guys to join our private. There it is. I would love for you guys to join our private group. Okay, Ball Life. Ball Life is in. Fantastic. Good to see you, Ball Life. All right, awesome. It looks like Modern Day Family Man is in the house. Yeah, come on in, Heather. We need you in there. This is just another way to communicate with me, another way to communicate with each other. As I said at the top of the hour, as the great Maury Schwartz once said, if the culture in society is not for you, or it doesn't seem to be lending itself to your purest soul ambitions, create the culture yourself. And that's what I feel like we're doing here with the Nez Nation family. We're creating this beautiful community. We're creating this beautiful. Okay, good. I see you. Yes, this is a YouTube group, Modern Day Family. Yes, this is a YouTube group. This is our own private Nez Nation sort of YouTube chat. Patty's in the house. Good to see you, Patty. Thank you so much. Patty joined. I'd love to see Heather in there and everybody who's not in this. Oh, yes, Ahmed, I want to get to your question before we get out of here. Yes, thank you so much, Christian. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I see Ahmed is in here. Is Ahmed in here? Christian's making a comment. Stony Creek is making a comment. So good to have you guys in here. Yeah, Ahmed, let me get to your question. I want to answer your question and then we'll get out of here. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Yes, it's almost like a cool just private message chat or private Slack, if you will, for all Nez Nation members. We can talk, we can hang out, we can share videos, we can share ideas. I haven't really set up any parameters for it because we guys are so respectful. Obviously, if you're spammy all the time and you're not really contributing or participating, yada yada yada. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. I don't really like that kind of stuff. I'm pretty much as easygoing as it comes. Yeah, Sharon, I think you did too. I think you did too, Sharon. Yeah. Okay, let me get to. Yeah, did you click the link, Heather? I don't see that Heather got in here. Yeah, Heather, I don't think you're in here. Click the link and then you should be able to get in there. Oh, yes, there she is. Heather's in the house. Nice. Heather's here. Um, yes, it's a chat box that pops up on the phone. So anytime there's chat going on or anytime you have a message, now I think you can turn those notifications off, but yeah, how do you get back in? You're in, Modern Day Family. You're in. I've never seen this before. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's awesome. This is something that I just found out not that long ago, as a matter of fact. So it's a really cool thing. Dan, you're in the group, aren't you? I'm gonna put that link up again just in case. So I want you guys to join and check it out. Definitely click on this link right here. I'm gonna leave it one more time just so you guys can check it out. There it is. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I really think it's awesome. It's a great way to keep up with each other. It's a great way to just quickly talk to one another without having to, worry about email or worry about. So this is another place that you can go. I just put the link in the chat right there. This is another place you can go if you have any questions, any concerns, any qualms, and I might just create an entire live stream about it. But Ahmed, I want to get to yours. So make sure that you join our private YouTube mastermind, the Nez Nation Live Personal Branding Mastermind. Um, yes, Dan, you've been in. Okay, let me get to Ahmed's question. Ahmed, are you still here? Ahmed says, I'm good at making videos, but not good in being in them. Okay, I'm going to share a video with you. I am definitely going to share. Okay, Ahmed's here in the chat too. I'm going to share a video I did about camera confidence, and I'd love for you to check that out. But I'm going to go ahead and answer here as well. So there's actually a video that I created, and I'm just going to go find it really quick. But I'm going to share it with you. As a matter of fact, I'll share it with you after this. So I've got a great video on camera confidence, and you've got to go check it out. It's phenomenal. It's going to teach you how to really, be a little bit more powerful, a little bit more convincing in front of the camera. Okay, so I'm gonna definitely share that with you, Ahmed. I'll share it in the private chat group, the private YouTube group. But yeah, so a couple of things. And Ahmed, I think you're very young. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a pretty young man. Um, you're a pretty young man. That didn't sound right. You're pretty young, right? That's what I meant to say. You're a pretty young man. Look into my eyes, and I will tell you how glorious you are. Okay, sorry. That's way too weird. um, yeah, I should start a Discord too. Modern Day Family Man. Good call. I've heard about that. But this is kind of cool. Isn't this kind of like the next best thing, Modern Day Family Man? I think it is. Um, yeah. Oh, how do you also make yourself a professor? Well, I mean, that's neither here nor there. That's a whole nother show, Ahmed. But yeah, what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm not gonna do it right now because we're still streaming, but I'm gonna post that video in. You could also go to my channel and look in the playlist, career advice, or personal branding. Some of those playlists. I've got a camera, how to be confident on camera. And Ahmed, I want you to watch that video and check it out because you're gonna love it. But here's the real kind of gist of being better on camera. Number one, you're going to have, you probably heard this from a lot of other YouTubers and a lot of other creators. Be prepared for your first 50 to 100 videos to just suck. They're just going to. It takes time. You have to have a mindset about this. See how everything revolves around mindset, Ahmed. You need to just consistently try to create as many videos as you can. as you get cooking, just like with everything else, not only does your confidence get bigger and better, but you get better as a video creator and learn from others, learn from the ones that you like the most. But the number one thing that's holding you back from being good on camera is you might not even you said you're not good on in front of camera. You said you're not good at being in front of the camera, but maybe you are. I mean, who's saying that? Is it this guy that's saying that? Or is it, I mean, where are you getting that information, or how are you justifying that? Why is that? What is that really true? Yes, ball life. Absolutely. Is that really true that you're not good in front of camera? Maybe you are good in front of camera. Yeah. I mean, you do. Absolutely, Heather. Great point. I think the best thing that you can do in front of the camera, there's a couple of tactical things that I always say. I think you should treat that camera lens. Picture people behind the lens. Picture maybe one person behind that lens that you're speaking to directly. Don't look at it just a physical electronic piece of equipment. There are human eyeballs and earballs behind that lens. So presence, just like public speaking, because I'm a public speaking, not only am I a paid public speaker, but I'm also a public speaking professor. Eye contact is important. Makes the audience feel like you care and that you care about connecting with them. So looking at the camera is very, very important. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Be absolutely 100% real. You don't have to have the energy of Nez. You don't have to be maniacal or in your face. I'm like a locomotive in your chest. You don't have to be that way. You have to own your own energy. You have to own your own presence that fits what you're comfortable with. Okay. The worst thing that I see, and then I'm gonna really kind of focus more on the video itself because it's got a lot of that in it. The worst thing that I see people do when they try to create video, the same thing that I tell my clients all the time, is they try to be affectatious. They try to act. They try to be something that they're not. Hey, it's Professor Nez, and today we're going to talk about, but wait, there's more. Nothing's worse than that. It's more important to not be a video creator, but to be not to create a presentation, but to create a conversation. A live stream is a conversation with your audience. Be real, be down to earth, be informal. It doesn't have to be so stiff. You don't have to act. You don't have to act interesting. Don't try to be interesting. Don't try to be voluminous and project. Don't try to be something. Don't try to be anything. Just stick to you and you'll win. That's really the kind of gist of that kind of advice, Ahmed. And I think it really applies to everything. I think it really does. What did Beth say now? Christian is a winner. Yes, Roberto, absolutely. Stony Creek, guys, I got to run. Okay, no problem, Stony Creek. Always the best. Thank you, Ball Life. I really appreciate it. Stony Creek says, Ahmed, you just got to do it more often. Yeah, absolutely. The more you do it, the better. And I'm going to post that video in there so you can check this out right after the stream. I'll post the video in there. Isn't this cool? Our little private chat. I think it's rad. So I love it. And I'll also post it in the comments after the video is published. I'll post it in the comments. I'd love to get as many of you as possible. Okay, you guys, I'm so, so grateful. Another amazing stream. I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here. I'm going to go through the chat and just do a kind of, roll call and just say thank you. But before I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Love you guys so much. It's always a treat every single Sunday, 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern. We want you here in the chat too, replay viewers. We want you here in the chat. So try to make it. If you can, I completely understand, but it would mean the world to us. You see how lively the chat is. You see how amazing the Nez Nation family is. It's just such a treat to have you guys, and I would love to see you guys here. Every single week, we bring it. We bring it for you every single Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you guys here. But before I go, I just want to say a real big thank you to Neil, Heather, Patty, Christian, Modern Day Family Man. Thank you so much. Beth, you rock. Ahmed, thank you so much. Stony Creek, it's just fantastic. Christian made it. Ball Life, great to have you with us. As always, Sharon, Roz, Cameron, Sethi, people who are not here. Luis, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. And everybody else in the chat, you guys have been just phenomenal. Neil from Crypto Cruising, you rock. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. I would really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Dan Norton, I can't forget Dan Norton. Dan Norton, thank you so much for hanging out with us. An absolute pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. I am your personal branding coach, LinkedIn consultant, online business owner, speaker, and author, saying how much I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.